Later in the show, I want to hear from you for the Mount Rushmore of protest songs. I think that's where we are right now, and it's kind of sad that we don't have the turnaround on protest songs or the interest in protest songs that we did in the 1960s and 68. So during the commercial break, I did are we taping now? Hi, everybody on video. How are you? You can see the video of this segment every night at the end of the show. Thank you to Dylan at KLBJFM.com in studio. Please let us go live again soon. So we're hearing about this morning show in Rochester, New York. Kim, what is it? Kim and what?
Kimberly and Beck. So it's her first name and his last name. Kind of the opposite of us.
Now,
That's the only comparison I'll draw.
Let me start with this.
Yeah, we can't make any comparisons. Their lead character is a female, and we have nothing but a bunch of dudes on this show. So,
man, thanks. Finally, thank you
for calling him a dude.
For actually calling me a dude.
It's funny because HR actually, anytime someone calls, HR is able to point to you, and say,
now,
"Well, it's not really
okay." I have been against political correctness. That's why it's so funny when we get called either libtards or bootlickers or right-wingers or anything like that, because to me it's not a this or that. Is that the right way to use that term? Mm-hmm. It's not.
I mean, I know. I think people can discern what you're saying.
You all have your own different opinions.
Do me a favor. Don't accidentally hit play on your computer, because if any of that audio that we just listened to goes out.
I've got it queued. If I fought, Bob will tell you, we fought the 2000 crackdown on radio like you wouldn't believe. When Janet Jackson showed a nipple, we said things in the 90s that I wish I hadn't have said. I was younger.
Things like my background. Not that great of a nipple.
Yeah. But things evolve. I've fought political correctness. I've fought against management for many years. They won. And I've only been in real trouble once, and it wasn't for something I did on the air. It was we were taping the wrong way, and they replayed a tape of me letting this woman have it who was making fun of mental illness. And I still stand by what I called her to this day. She was calling up literally saying that mental illness isn't real and blah, blah, blah. And I was on vacation when they played this tape. We confessed, not us, the station.
Well, apologized
to the FCC and sent them $10,000, something like that. So, but as time goes on, and it'll get us. If in the next year, what is it today? 1 year, 363 days. You go in going, is today the day? There are times when you feel really uncomfortable about what you said, or you have to edit. Chewy off the air was telling me, I almost edited you one day when I said this, which is a phrase that is different from what he heard. That's neither here nor there. But you have to keep up with what's going on in the business, right?
Mm-hmm. And the world.
I mean, my God, if you're that age and you obviously were on intercom, how could you possibly know that was going to fly?
She tripled down on it.
And so we listened to the tape. We were thinking we will play you the radio tape. But now you can't even play stuff in context. No. If we had this wackadoodle Romeo Rose in, and I allowed him, because he's a racist, I allowed him. He's also on
to show his hand.
He's also on the spectrum. Yeah. And so I interviewed him, and he said these horrible things, and we got in trouble.
You called him on the things that he said.
I called him on his racism.
Yes, and but people
and
were
his sexism.
People said that we should have then gotten a time machine and removed him from the show and removed him having ever been on. It's like, I don't understand what you were supposed to have done.
So we were told by Emmis to never have Romeo Rose on again, and I think he went off and slept with some people. But in the old days, I would play you the clip and go, what is it? What is wrong with this woman? But because you have some people so far, I don't even want to say they're left, they're so far part of cancel culture that they would hear us play it, and somehow we would be in trouble for doing something in context. So we listened to it. And not only does the woman say what she said about, are they being like the N-word, which is not a verb, by the way. It isn't now. And she doubles down like 3 times.
You know how I'm always devil's advocate.
And then
I'm like, let's listen to
the guy who should immediately hit the dump button. He goes, "You can't say that. You can't say that." And then he just starts calling everybody thugs. But I've queued it up here to the. They've been ranting and ranting. The clip is 1:16, and I want you to listen to the very end. There's a third guy.
There's a third person who's young and probably
the producer,
and wants this, and it realizes, oh, you guys just cost me my $10,000 a year job.
And I'm guessing he either got a text or the hotline started ringing, and he took it off the air. Listen to this. This is really inside radio. Listen to the very end of this. What the guy says at the very end of this while they're ranting and raving.
I understand the meaning very well.
Telling you.
I understand the meaning very well.
I'm going to apologize to anybody offended by that right now. I'm just
no one's offended.
I'm going to apologize for that.
He just got a call or a text. That's what's going on there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I always play devil's advocate, and I thought, well, you know what? This sounds so kind of over the top, and people love to clutch their pearls. I wonder if she wasn't quoting somebody else or something. Because we've had... Do you remember how many times we got in trouble for the same story, which was the time that I took in a bunch of stray kittens and cared for them and raised them, but I talked about how much I don't like cats, but I still felt as a human, that's what I needed to do was to take care of the cats.
Yeah.
And we joked about how much cheaper it would have been to eliminate the cats via shovel.
Sorry.
And then someone was furious, and someone was furious again, and then one time it got replayed, and then we were discussing the replay, and then a third time somebody caught,
Same thing with Little Marky, where I'm trying to point out
absolutely
a horrendous man standing in front of 12-year-olds,
absolutely
pretending to be an aborted fetus to put his message into the minds of 12-year-olds.
And we've kind of gone out of our way.
And I caught hell because the audio bothered people.
And I feel like we've gone out of our way to give the benefit of the doubt to people and not be... the part of the offendagencia, and but I gotta say, after listening to that, there's no way to defend that in a court of law. I mean, it was what was said, and
I just don't know how you're that vapid of what's going on in the business.
Look at did you see the video of them?
Which one?
The video that was when we were watching the newscast. They were showing some kind of promo video from that show.
Yeah.
How old were those two people?
She looked like she's in her 50s. He's in his 60s.
That's the explanation.
Oh, so just any day now, I might start just blurting out.
No, but I do think that she's from a generation where you feel like everyone is younger than you. They just don't understand.
A generation or a background or geographical situation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to just blame age necessarily. Some people are just brought up in different environments.
What about this?
I mean, Dale talks about it all the time about
Bob,
his background.
This is not I promise you, this is not a.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not slagging you here.
But what about that fireplace?
When you grew up,
take my glasses off.
When you grew up, how many successful, ordinary black people did you see on television?
Well, we had the lady who was the nurse.
Diane Carroll?
Yeah, what was her name of her show?
I thought it was Diane.
Nurse lady.
I thought it was Diana, wasn't it? Or Diane?
Or Diane Carroll show?
That's a good something point. Like that. I thought
we
it
had,
was.
Not
we
a
had
doctor.
We had Bill Cosby on I Spy. We had one of the Nazi in the Nazi show. What was that? In Hogan's Hero.
Okay.
We had Michael. I'm just making that one up. No, we didn't have that one. Okay.
All right, 3. Okay, that's good.
No, there wasn't one on Hogan's Heroes. Or was there?
I don't like. I'm so uncomfortable because of the conversation. I'm just saying one. There wasn't one.
Oh, we should say that too. It is a minefield every time you go on, and you know
they didn't accidentally step on a mine.
No, they didn't.
This show didn't.
No. I don't think so. I don't think they talk about.
Someone
this
was
stuff
like, "Oh my
all the time.
God, there's a mine over there," and she went and threw her body on it.
Maybe she don't want to work anymore.
I don't know. That was a weird way to quit.
So what's your point?
My point is just that there are folks, I think, from a older generation.
This is it's true.
Can you help me out here too?
Different, like say in different aspects of life, how you guys would approach like dating or women is a lot different in the 70s
but
or
I see
80s
this stuff
than it is
more.
in
I see this
2020.
I see this more geographical.
That's just
They're
an
going to
example I'm
fight.
using as
They're
an
going to fight
analogy.
right now,
I know
Chewy, but you're right.
I'm not going to
fighting
fight
you. I'm
I
fighting
didn't even
him.
get to finish the sentence.
I'm not fighting with you. I just have a point. Go ahead, finish yours.
That was it.
No, there's also a thing that I've talked about before on this show, and that is not even in radio. And this is the thing that's wrong with our country right now. This is why I can't get along with anybody from Tyler, Texas, is there are people who refuse to change the way that they think about stuff. And I'm not saying just pay lip service. I'm talking about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and going, maybe. And I've had lots of great friends and lots of great help over the years with that, Matt included, you included, where they just refuse to change what they were brought up with and question their parents, question their religion, question their peers, question the town they grew up in and the atmosphere. That's what that is. Yeah. That's the way that woman's thought her entire life. And I will tell you this right now. The 20-year-old me would have thought the same way.
I was not saying that because someone is 55 that they are automatically de facto a racist. I'm saying in how you grew up and what your high school was like and what your television you watched and the books that you read, there is a greater propensity sometimes for us to see that. Mm-hmm. There's been a much greater stressor. I mean, I see my kids now when they go to school. I have 2 young kids who are in elementary, and I see the lessons that they have that are so different than even the lessons that I had. But also, there's a thing about, well, I'm a boy here. I'm getting ready to get fired. Are you ready? There's a things. I would say that some boomers seem to be very smug in their correctness about how the world is, and I don't.
That's fair. Some boomer. You're absolutely right, dude. These are people. My post today about has anyone in your life changed their mind, and I got it. Nobody can understand what I was saying because I brought up old corn pop and all that other stuff. Is the reason I asked that is because I can't call Hot Pockets right now and go, "Are you proud of this? Is this what you wanted?" Because they just put a wall around what they grew up with, God's guns, country, and I'm not making fun of your guns. I'm using that as an old hackney phrase that where you just sit in a bubble and you just say exactly what your parents say. And I used to hear that in Tyler, Texas. You know, we joke around with the little church ladies where we go, well, you know, he's one of the good ones. That's what we heard, man, growing up. But I'm sorry, but my overwhelming, we're spending too much time on this. My overwhelming take on this is in this industry, how could you be that dumb? That's my overall take.
In this
of it.
world,
in this industry, well, mine's the industry right now. She may be a horrible woman. I don't know. I mean, what she said was horrible. But how do you not know that wouldn't fly on the air? Even saying thug wouldn't fly on the air, which used to mean, you know, somebody who was being, you know, beating somebody up or something like that.
Well, it comes from the thuggy.
No, I understand where it's gone now.
It comes from India.
And that was even hard to do when I was a kid. Coming up these past years where you nice people have allowed me to grow up on the air is I used to think, well, you can't change the meaning of a word, but I absolutely see now where a meaning of a word can change and what it means towards people. I still don't think curse words should be banned, but that's just me because I'm a creek head. All right, let's move on to something else. What did I have? Oh, I wanted to do this. The RV business. Brandon Chesbro, what happened? I wanted to do the RV company, but it looks like they may not need the advertising. RV people are going nuts.
Yep.
People are renting RVs in droves for fun and safe adventures amid chaos. We just got an email saying everyone in this building is way behind on their vacation time and there's no rollover with the new company. I need to talk to you guys. I was going to take the 4th of July week off. But
I'm going to do the same.
Well, 4th of July falls on Saturday.
That's my birthday.
So do we get Friday or Monday off is the question. But I was sitting there thinking, well, where could we go to be safe? We could go to that drive-in theater that has little bungalows. That'd be okay if you went to like a bungalow somewhere where you weren't around a bunch of people with the COVID. And then it crossed my mind, and I said, because I thought about it years ago, an RV. And Art's got an RV, and he's wanting us to go on vacation with him. I don't know when it is. But here's my deal. I'm scared to drive one.
Yeah.
This is big.
They're big.
You should not drive an RV.
Why?
You haven't driven in a year.
I'll just have a couple of pops to relax me.
Yeah, you have not driven in a year, so I don't know that you should drive any car.
I've driven.
No, you haven't.
Yes,
you have a car that drives itself.
It doesn't drive itself everywhere. Oh, my God.
Only when you've been drinking?
For the first time ever, I have forgotten to charge my car in 3 days, and I'm sitting on empty outside, and I don't have enough to
Can't you just plug it into your phone and look at you home?
USB. I've got to go to the supercharger after the show. First time ever in Austin having to go to the supercharger.
You want to go party?
No, it's great. Supercharger. Turn on Netflix on the screen. It has Netflix video games. Nah, I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I got smoked glass windows. I could rub one out. Ooh, it's got a browser in there too.
Yeah, dude.
And I got a membership to Brazzers.
I saw there was one you could play Mario Kart with the steering wheel. I want to do that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's got Missile Command in
Aim
there.
high, Chewy.
It's got Spotify in there.
Put on Pornhub and see if you can't play Missile Command.
Sales professional Bennett Prescott, 36, and his family usually spend summers adventuring far from their home in Wallingford, Connecticut. Blah blah blah. Don't care. Let's get down to the part. It
I
says.
can't imagine being 36 and having the kind of dough where you just can
The one Art
go
has,
on long vacations.
that RV that
happens
he's
to
got,
people.
it's like $200,000.
You mean
No.
but you forgot.
No, it's way more than that.
More than that?
Yeah,
It's
it's
gotta be.
300.
It's gotta be.
I
I've
think it's
been
around
on it.
300,000.
It was nice.
But here's the deal. He had a lemon, and he actually was able to use the Texas lemon law to get a brand new one, and he upgraded from that one.
Hey, when life gives you lemons,
So
make a
to
mojito.
go on vacation with them, I'm going to have to rent a Piddly Annie. I don't even know what that means. Did I just get fired? What am I going to rent? You know, and what does it cost? I think it's like $350 a day to rent a good one.
They are expensive.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
Wherever I will follow.
Oh, you're going to go in your own RV wherever he goes?
Yeah, he won't answer this because too busy being on TV. Send a text message to Art Acevedo.
I don't even want to tell you where I am going.
TV hasn't added support for that with Siri.
Okay, never mind.
I told you guys I won't be here on Monday. I won't be here on Monday.
Destin. We're going to Destin. But I've already.
Wow, that's a drive.
I know.
Jesus Christ, it is.
Oh, here we go. Talk me
is
out
brutal.
of it.
Well, no,
You
I
know
just know that when you went to Gulfport or wherever,
I hated the drive.
you hated the drive, and so you're about 6 hours past that, I think.
Do you want to know the worst part about Destin? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to
in
tell it to
Florida?
you right now. No. It's that you keep waiting to get to the. It's in the Panhandle of Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you keep waiting, and then when you finally get north of Destin, you turn off I-10, and you're like, oh, thank God. And in your mind, you're like,
I'm
I-10.
here.
The beach must be.
Yeah.
I must take a right,
You're
and
another
I'm going
2
to see.
hours to your hotel.
It is the last hour and a half of driving south away from the freeway to try to get to the coast is excruciating because you feel like it's sticky, it's salt air.
You've been
you're
driving.
Like, you're like,
you
where
think
the
I'm
hell
here?
is the GD
Yeah.
Beach?
I've experienced
They're
exactly
so
that
bad.
same thing.
There's enough. There might be enough room for us to sleep with them.
Maybe.
That
3 to
sounds like
4.
social
And
distancing.
then I could
Two families in one
and then
RV.
I could bring my guitar and pretend I'm in a band. I just heard Kevin in that one.
band.
All right, let's hear what's going on here with these RVs. They booked a 32-footer. All right, we don't care about that. I want to hear
There's
about
nothing
the
in the
sales.
story. We
So
should just
Kramer-
talk around it. They're just saying people are renting them like crazy.
Generally, Cruise America, they generally range from $50 to $100 per night for a pop-up trailer.
A pop-up
You
trailer.
don't want a
You're
pop-up.
not. You can't put a family in a pop-up trailer.
I don't have a truck to pull it either. Okay. Well, anyway, it's
No, you're gonna have to-
exploded.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. No?
I heard Kramer on CNBC talking about it yesterday. He said, though, if you want to buy stock in these companies, it's too late. That bubble's already burst. I bet. But they have been doing gangbuster in sales.
My wife.
My wife.
There you go.
Oh, here we go.
That's what I'm
Rentals have increased 1,000% since April, where RV sales have jumped 600% in the same period, according to KOA, the campgrounds.
They've been waiting for this.
I bet all the KOA spots are booked too.
Well, that's the problem is that right now, if
Reservations.
you also state parks have limited spots because they're not going to full capacity.
Right.
And if you look right now to try to make a reservation, it doesn't exist.
Well, it's
That
just,
being said, I'm
it's-
gonna have great video when I get back from our mini vacation this weekend, and you all are going to love it. And Bob is probably gonna freak out and quit the show when he sees where I've stayed.
You're not going to tell us to get back.
I already kind of know because he kind of let it out of the bag, but
Oh,
I haven't
did I
seen
really?
it specifically. But yeah.
Let me just say
Let's
this.
Bob will love it.
Here's what I'm
Oh.
going to say. Before I get home, can you do me a favor? Will you
Are
share
you
the
going
name?
to are you going to the fireplace convention?
Will you share with
painting it
me
this
the
weekend.
number for your bed bug guy?
So you're staying at Hyatt, which was not the bed bug problem.
Oh man, that was a quick
Oh,
fix.
you're going to San Antonio.
No. I'm going to a place that I'm convinced I will come home covered in scorpion bites. Stings.
Scorpion bites. Germany, the band the Scorpions.
Still loving you.
Was that the Scorpions?
Don't try to Don't try to figure it out. It's not a clue.
Just coincidentally, one of our great show preppers, Robert Richter.
He's one of the good ones.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones. Now, see, you said that, and I had a thought, and I was going to say something, and then it would sound inappropriate that I said it right afterwards. So I'm not going to say it.
You kind of just did.
No, I was talking about somebody's attractive wife earlier.
Oh.
We'll get to that later on. Just by coincidence, Rob Richter found this old film, I guess, of camper races. Trucks and cars pulling campers on a racetrack.
Love it.
Yeah. Let's I don't see if there's any noise on this one. And you already know it's the Deep South with the woo-hoo.
Sure.
That's exciting.
Is that Stars and Bars up there or whatever it's
No,
called?
but it could also be like Ohio or Pennsylvania.
So it's
That one's
old
tilting
meters.
on its side.
It's like it's Destruction Derby or whatever they call it,
Yeah,
right?
they're waiting for this. That's what this is all about is wrecks.
Yeah, none of those campers have a thing in them.
Oh, you should keep a person in the back, though.
They're just a shell. Up, one sideways.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here's what's a shame.
Look at that.
Is they were able to do that and destroy all those campers because nobody cared about a canned ham camper in the 80s when this was filmed, right?
Yeah.
Currently,
They get big money for those.
hipsters would have paid
Yeah.
$30,000 for each one of those campers just
Right.
now that we saw racing around that track. What's up?
Chuck brought y'all some windscreens.
Oh.
So
Why do we need windscreens?
now, if I did that,
Thank you,
if
brother.
I blew into a microphone, Chuck,
Dynamic coil. This is not a ribbon
if I
microphone.
blew it-
Dynamic
if
coil.
but if I did
Defend me.
if I did it, you'd go bananas. If I was blowing into a microphone, wouldn't you?
No, not these microphones. That's what
It's
these are
all-
all about.
everybody loves Matt. That's the name of the show. Everybody loves Matt.
He's correct.
He's a
I
great
wanted
guy.
to apologize to you for
He's a
Monday.
he's a straight
I've
shooter.
had a rough week and the computer wasn't working, and I said there was an engineer in the room. I meant to text you, but I didn't. I can't see your emotions right now through that mask. So
But your
It's
eyes
like
are
I have
dazzling.
my beard back again.
Do
That's-
you-
that's
do
the-
you,
Now that you're
accept-
back and everybody is kumbaya, I have one
Well,
thing.
hold on.
One
He-
thing to say to you. Hello.
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 Hello. Hello.
Hello. You gotta-
Did you accept my
Dr. Fine.
apology?
Yes.
Thank you. All right,
You're
we got a
such
break.
puss,
Who's
dude.
got the?
Why wouldn't you just walked out of here silently just now? He would have freaked.
Why don't you do a live ad?
You eat my balls.